Welcome to SciSpectrum Lab Essentials, your source for equipment, instrument, and consumables.
You know, how do you measure something you can't even see? A force that you can feel but you just can't grab. I'm talking about the wind, of course. It's all around us, shaping our weather. But turning that feeling into actual useful data? Well, that takes some seriously clever engineering. Today, we're going to pop the hood on one of the tools that does exactly that. And the answer, or at least one of the answers, is this little guy right here. This is the Lutron AM-4202 digital anemometer. And it's a perfect example of how we make the invisible visible. So let's break down exactly how this thing works. Okay, first things first, let's get properly introduced to this gadget and learn what it's actually called. So the official name is an anemometer. Basically, it's a portable tool that gives you fast and accurate readings of air velocity. And those three words are really the whole point. Portable, fast, and accurate. It's designed to give you solid data right there on the spot, no messing around. All right, so we know its name, but how in the world does it turn a simple gust of wind into a number on that little screen? Let's dive into the mechanics. The real magic happens right here with this part called the anemometer vane probe. This is the business end of the whole operation. You see that little fan? It's actually a super sensitive, perfectly balanced wheel that's designed to start spinning the very instant any air moves past it. The process itself is it's so simple and smart. First, the air pushes on those little cups or vanes and makes the wheel spin. But the real secret sauce is that second step. It uses a low-friction ball bearing, which means the wheel can move with almost no resistance. That's the key. From there, the main unit just counts the rotations and does the math to show you the speed. And this is exactly why that low-friction design is so important. The source material even calls it out specifically, saying it's a low-friction ball-bearing design resulting in accuracy at both high and low velocities. What that really means is, whether you've got a tiny gentle breeze or a really strong gust, you're going to get a reliable measurement because nothing is holding that little wheel back. And this device is no one-trick pony either. Just by pressing a button, you can switch between all kinds of different units. You've got your standard meters per second and, of course, kilometers per hour. But then you also have feet per minute, which is common in HVAC, and even knots, which is what pilots and sailors use. That kind of versatility is just incredibly handy. But you know, measuring how fast the wind is blowing is only half the story with this particular device. It's actually got another trick up its sleeve. Yep, you guessed it, it's also a thermometer. The probe has a clever little sensor built right in that can measure the temperature of the air that's flowing through it. And it does it in both Celsius and Fahrenheit, so it's got you covered. So why measure both at the same time? Well, think about it. The wind speed tells you how much air is moving, but the temperature tells you the condition of that air. If you're checking a heating or an air conditioning system, you absolutely need to know both. Is enough air coming out of the vent? And is that air hot or cold enough? This one tool answers both of those critical questions at the same time. Okay, let's get just a little bit technical for a second. I know spec sheets can look pretty intimidating, but we're going to decode a couple of these key numbers really quickly so you can see what makes a measurement tool truly useful. So you'll see a number like this, 0.1 meters per second. This is what's called resolution. The best way to think about it is like the pixels on your TV screen. It's the absolute smallest change the device can actually detect and show you. So it can tell the difference between 1.0 and 1.1 meters per second. That's a really fine level of detail. And then you'll see this, plus or minus 2%. This is accuracy. And you can think of it like a promise from the manufacturer. It tells you how close the number on the screen is to the actual real-world wind speed. In this case, it's going to be really, really close, which is exactly what you want from a precision instrument. Of course, none of that fancy precision matters if the device shatters the first time you drop it. That's why it's built with durable parts on the inside, all protected by a strong but lightweight plastic case. It's designed to be tossed in a toolbox and used out in the field. So that's the tech behind it, but where do people actually use these things? Let's take a look at where you might find an anemometer out in the wild. The applications are super broad. HVAC technicians use them constantly to make sure heating and cooling systems are running efficiently. But you'll also see people using them for outdoor activities, like for sailing or flying drones, where knowing the wind conditions is all about safety. And of course, they are absolutely essential tools in all sorts of industrial and scientific research. Okay, so we've looked at what this thing is, how it works, and where it's used. After all that, what's the really important thing to remember here? I think it's this. The anemometer is a perfect example of the art of measurement. It takes something as abstract and invisible as the wind, and through some really clever engineering, it turns it into a solid, concrete number